Welcome to Eddie's Math. My name is Edward Hector. Do remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thanks. Welcome back. Today we are going to look at the solution of January 2020 paper 2 number 2, question number 2. So we begin 2a. Factorize the following expression completely. Now we have two terms, 5h squared and negative 12h. The common factor here is h. So we have h into 5h minus 12g. And that is as complete as it will go. So the two factors would be, one would be h and the other would be what is inside the bracket, 5h minus 12g. Moving on to the next question. We have to factorize 2x squared minus x minus 6. Now you should be familiar with the general form of quadratic expression, which is ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are numbers. A is the coefficient of x squared, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant term. So in this case, a is equal to 2 and b is equal to negative 6. So we familiarize ourselves with the process of saying that 8c, which is equal to 2 times negative 6, which is negative 12, and b, which is the middle term, is negative 1. So what we do next, we normally say what factors of negative 12 can add to give you negative 1. The factors of pairs of factors of 12 are 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 4 and 3. Now 1 and 12 added together can either give you 13 or 11. Likewise, 2 and 6 can give you 4 or 8. And it depends on the sign of either. That's what we mean by addition. And 4 and 3 can give you 7 or 1. Now, since the result is negative, we know that the bigger factor is negative. The bigger numeral, which is 4, is negative. So the factors are of that is negative 12 is negative 4 and 3. So we're going to rewrite our expression like this now. We say this is 2x squared minus 4x. We're going to break up the middle term into these two terms plus 3x. That is the beauty of mathematics. We can do many things to say the same thing. Then we are going to factorize these two terms. So the common factor is 2x. And we are left with x minus 2 plus, when you factorize the 2, the common factor is 3 into x minus 2. Just a word of advice. Anytime you are doing this problem, and if these two brackets are not the same, you know there's some problem with your signs. So you need to recheck. So we go ahead now and take out the common factors of these two terms, which is x minus 2. So we'll be left with 2x plus 3. And that would be the result. Now, there's another way which I learned in school, that you look at the c first, and c is negative. That tells you one of the factors is positive and one is negative. Because you cannot multiply two numbers and get a negative answer unless one is negative and one is positive. So we'll form our two brackets. We won't put the sign yet. But we know that a negative and a positive must be in either brackets. Now, look at the first term, 2x squared. The only factor of 2 is 2 and 1. So 1 must have a 2x here and an x here. Now to find out where the factors of 6 must go. Now, 6 is 1 and 6. And this is 2 and 3. And we have 2 and 1 here. Now this is going to give you 12 and 1. This will give you 13 or 11. So this is 1 and 6 is out. Now we can get 2, 3, 6 and 2 1s 2. That will give you 4. So we know that these two must go together and these two must go together. 2 2s 4, 2 1s 3. If you notice, this comes back. These two factors come back. So therefore this product must be negative. The 2 times the 2. So we have a 2 here, so it must have a negative 2 here. And therefore this must be positive 3. If you notice, the same result we get. Now, this method, by practice, you'll be able to work it out quickly. And that is what maths is. Practicing the correct thing. Now let us look at part B. We have to solve the equation. And the only unknown variable there, the variable there is r, so we are going to solve for r. So the first thing we're going to look is to, r is in a bracket here, so we have to get rid of the bracket. So we rewrite what is here. We didn't trouble anything, so we rewrite it. 3 times r is 3r, and 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. Next step is to group the like terms. So we're going to put everything in r on one side. We take it over to the left. So this is r minus 3r. And we have negative 15. And we take the 3, it becomes negative 3. So this gives us negative 2r is equal to negative 18. Therefore, r must be equal to 9. Or, if you look at it this way, divide both sides by negative 2. When we divide it by same signs, the answer must be positive. And 2 into 18 goes 9 times. So the answer is 9. Now in this part C of the question, we have to make k the subject of the formula. So we need to isolate k, so everything else you take over to the other side of the equation. So we're going to have to go ahead. There's 3t here, so we'll subtract 3t from both sides. So therefore it would disappear from the right, and then we'll have over here 2a minus 3t would be equal to pi k squared. But we don't want pi k squared, we want with k alone, so we need to divide both sides by pi, which would make it disappear from the right hand side, and we're left with 2a minus 3t all divided by pi. But we are asked to find k, not k squared, so the next step is to take the square root of both sides. So we're going to have the square root of the left hand side, which gives us square root of 2a minus 3t all over pi. Everything under the root sign is equal to square root of k squared is naturally k. That's why we did it. So that's the result there. Now in section D, the question reads, a planter plants 2 crops, potatoes and corn, on a 10-hectare piece of land. The number of hectares of corn planted is C, and this must be at least twice the number of hectares of potatoes. We are asked to write 2 inequalities to represent the scenario above. Let us look at the first scenario. What do we know? That the area of potatoes plus the area of corn must be equal to 10 or less than 10. So we're going to write that in algebraic terms. C is for the area of corn plus the area of potatoes. We say it must be less than or equal to 10 hectares. So this will be our first inequality. Now in the second sentence, what we are told that where the corn is planted, it must be at least twice the number of hectares of potatoes. So in other words, the corn plot must be at least twice bigger than the potato plot. So it can be the same as the potato, as twice the potato, or more. Therefore, we're going to say where corn is planted, it must be greater than or equal to 2 times the potatoes. And that would give us our 2 inequalities. Thanks for coming, and do check back for more on